Well, hello, good evening and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Murphimda, aka Tony. Now, if you remember last week, you're doing better than me. Actually, no, last week, I think it was the 18th, in fact it was the 18th of September 2022, we did some sowings, and the sowings that we did were of the Pak Choi Shanghai. Let's see if I can get it here for you. We went to Wicks, if you remember. No, sorry, we went to Wilko's, not Wicks. Wilko's, we got the Pak Choi Shanghai, we got the all year round cauliflower, and we got some dwarf green kale, some curly kale. Okay, and we sowed some, and I've just come up to the polytunnel now, Tiki Tunnel 1, the trampoline framed polytunnel, and looked inside my cold frame that's inside the tunnel, and we've got some results. I'll show you. So there it is. They've been in the water tray all week, or since last Sunday. It's Saturday now, Saturday the 24th. So they've been in there for 6 days, and this is the germination that we're getting. I'm amazed that the Pak Choi has all burst through. Pak Choi Shanghai has all burst through. 100% germination. Now the dwarf kale, the dwarf green kale, not so much so at this moment. There's only a couple that are bursting through there, if you can see. And in that one there's that one. Dwarf kale. Pak Choi's all come through. We've had some good results as well for burst through on the cauliflower, all the year round cauliflower. I'll show you over this side as well. I did some in the little 12 trays, and I did some in the big green ones there, which are about 2.5 inch square trays, square cells, and I think those are about 1 3/4 inch, something like that. These standard sort of trays that you get. But yeah, look at that. I'll thin out the ones that I've dropped 2 in by accident. I'll thin out the one that I don't favour, and I don't particularly favour. I don't think that one. So we'll take him out and leave him in, because I want one per cell, if you like. But what that's inspired me to do is to do some more Pak Choi. I'm going to do some more. So we've got 12 there. I'll get 36. Once these are about 3 inches high, 3 or 4 inches high, they'll be transplanted then inside these, inside my little beds, inside my polytunnels. I've got 3 there, and I've got this space in here. It's looking a bit dry and a bit manky though. Look at that spider's nest there. Look at that. It's a beauty, isn't it? I like to see him on a dark night. Whoever lives in there is a whopper. But yeah, I'm going to have to sort the growing medium out and get a bit more, add a bit of soil to the mix. That's mostly compost, that. So I'm going to add some soil to the mix. I've got some outside. Same with these beds here, but we can get them in here. I'm thinking we can get them in and see how they get on over winter. I'm also going to be putting a couple of the cauliflowers into the SLUG forts, which we'll do today as well, I think, if I get the chance. I'll create the SLUG forts, show you what I mean by that, and we'll do them inside the glass greenhouse on the lady farmer's side. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to get some more of those Pak Choi off and running. I've got my mix there, so I'll get those off and running. I've got 2 grey trays there, cell trays. So yeah, that's the plan. Plus a lot of weeding today. We're going to get a lot of weeding done today. Right, leave me to it, and I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, if you look behind me, these have all yellowed off now, haven't they? So I'll be taking those home. Those are the spaghetti squash. And yeah, they're just curing on these racks. You want them all that yellow colour with a good hard firm skin on them, because they'll store better. But they're ready for eating now. We can get some soup on the go, and maybe a roast with those. Anyway, let's look at our seedling starts. So there's another couple of trays. So we've got another 24, fingers crossed, of the Pak Choi Shanghai variety. Can't get over that though. That's in 6 days. They've all burst through. That's really good. I'm impressed with that. I'm also impressed with our cauliflowers. They've done well, haven't they? So there's 18 cauliflowers. Looking at that, potentially. And of the Shanghai, there's 18... No, there's more than that, isn't there? No, there's 17. So there's 17. 12 plus 5 is 17, isn't it? And 24. So let's get my maths right. What's that? 24 plus 17, 34, 41. 41 Pak Choi Shanghai. Potentially. Cool. Right, let's look inside the glass house. There it is. The glass greenhouse on the lady farmer's side. Mick came over before. He was on for a bit. He's just come back off his holidays. Magical Mick Derbyshire from Old Mac Darby's farm. And he brought us some glass over. It's a little bit too big, so I'm going to see if I can grab anybody tomorrow who can cut it for me. Because of a pain out there. It's such a pain to lose a pane. But yeah, the vine was bursting through, so I'm going to clip back all the vine in there as well today. But I've got glass there. It's a bit too big though. Needs about 3 inches taking off down that top bit. Just needs trimming off. I'll mark it up. But yeah, all that vine's going to be clipped back as well. That's in there. We had a look before, and I took off about 30 bunches of grapes, if you remember, a few weeks ago, which have gone to create wine with. But there's more. There's a few more bunches. A couple more at least. There's 2 there, decent ones. I don't know how I've missed them, but I have missed them. So there's that one there. They're hiding behind the foliage, aren't they? And that one there. And a couple of little ones as well, I think, over here. I'll eat them. But yeah, I'm going to take all the foliage off and leave it with the old wood. Any old wood, you'll get new growth on next year, and you'll get new vines coming on next year. So all the new looking wood, I'm going to be trimming back. I might leave these on. They're doing no harm. But yeah, all the foliage, I'm going to take the foliage off. Right, let's get cracking. Oh, there's another one there, look. Hiding. Little one. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so I've well thinned the vine out. I've left some of the foliage on the ends. Somebody mentioned that, I can't remember who it was, but somebody mentioned to leave some of the foliage on the ends and let it die off naturally, and then take it away when it's all brown and crispy. I don't know whether that's right, but somebody said it to me, and I can't remember who it was. I'm trying to think, I can't remember. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm leaving it and let it die off naturally, and then I'll clear off the rest that I don't want. I've taken that big vine branch that came and ran along the roof. I've taken that off altogether because it was getting to damage the glass, and I think it's that one that's pushed out the pane at the back there. It's husbandry of your vines, really, so I don't want to obviously kill it off, but I don't want it to be going too rampant. I don't want it to be going across the roof. It's going to shade out too much, the rest of the stuff that we're growing in here. But I don't mind it going along the sides. I wouldn't mind this one running along the side there. That pane's dropped there, look. There's another thing I'll have to have a look at. That pane's dropped. But we'll try and sort something out for that. Get extra clips in. I think it's because the glass is a little bit too big that's been put into there, innit? So there's none of these clips underneath holding it together. So maybe that one wants taking out as well, and it probably does actually wants trimming down, cutting down. I haven't got a glass cutter, but there's going to be somebody on here that's got a glass cutter for sure. Yeah, I think the outer clips are holding it up, and that's what it is. But it has definitely slipped down that. Anyway, there we go. That's something for me to have a look at tomorrow. That pane's going to be replaced as well, as I say. Got the glass outside for that. But yeah, all the rest of it's been cleared off of the foliage. As you can see, I want to get some more weeding done in here as well. Get that done. And that should be okay, because the new growth comes off the old wood, basically. You get these nodules, or whatever they are, these little nodules. and that's where these come from, these vine stems come from. As you can see there. And that'll happen next year. That'll happen in early spring next year. You'll start to see them coming through, and then they'll just grow rampantly. And you've got to cut them all back and what have you, and get them to and train them to where you want to go. See, that one's gone over. I don't mind this. I quite like that. Quite liked it round there as well. But in the middle, I wasn't so keen. I don't favour the idea of it going through the middle there. I know Joe's got one, I think, that runs through the middle. Has he? I can't remember. The wise old elf. I'll have to have a word with the wise old elf if he's on tomorrow, and see what he says about it. Right. Slug fort. Okay, a winter slug fort. So what you will need is 2 of those watering trays, 3 buckets with sand in, half filled. I've got a pallet, but you don't necessarily need a pallet. That's just to get the level right. And that's about it, really. Oh, and the important ingredient. Doesn't have to be from Co-op, but it's 60p at Co-op, so I got some of that. It's just up the road. And that's going to be our barrier for the old slugs. Right. So all I do is place a tray. And then we'll get the buckets with the sand in. Just thinking I might as well have the salt in first. And put that all around. Well, that's all you do. You just add in the salt. So when Mr. Slug comes along, he is greeted by his arch nemesis, which is salt. Just normal table salt. Pour that in. I'll get the buckets in now, and then that's the next step. But the slug will come along, and he try to get in here. He'll be deterred, hopefully, by that. If not, he'll end up like these guys. Here's one we had earlier, and you can see these young, naive snails and slugs have fallen afoul of the slug fort and perished. Oliver, innit? Anyway, there's our 3 Asda buckets. Our 3 free Asda buckets, half filled with just normal sand. That then forms the pillars for the top one. Because obviously salt is no good for your plants, so you do need to have that as your top layer. The weight in the sand of the sand in the buckets gives it more stability. Then we'll put, we'll probably be able to get 3 to 4 buckets to grow our plants in on the top of that, and that acts as it should do, really, as a watering tray. So the water from the base and it wicks up into our growing buckets, and the slugs can't get to them. There's no way the slug can get to them. He's got to go through that. Get himself covered in salt, climb up the side of the bucket, come around underneath and get in there, and then climb up the other bucket, probably go through the water that's in the watering tray as well. That'll wash some of the salt off him, I suppose, and get himself up into the top bucket and into the plant. It's not going to happen. Unless they abseil down from the top, they're not going to get to my plants. Just pull that forward a little bit. Like that. They're not going to get to the plants. And it works. It works like an absolute charm. You don't get one single slug. Trust me on that, guys. It definitely works. Heed the words of the guru. I invented that. I'm absolutely certain of it because I've never seen anything like it before. But we're just trying to rack my brains because we wanted to grow inside the grow over winter inside of the greenhouses and stuff. I thought, what can I do to stop the slugs? And that's what I came up with. And it definitely works 100%. Didn't get one single slug on our Brassicas the last 2 years. Give us a thumbs up if you like it. If you do like us, please comment, like and subscribe. Ring that bell notification icon. Just click that bell notification icon so you don't miss another exciting episode with me, Murphimda, down here in Eden on the Little Farmer's Farm. Take care of yourselves, boys and girls. We love you all. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you next weekend. Gonna try and get at least one a week up. I think I can do that. Alright. See you in a bit. Take care. Bye bye now. Ta-da.